The Greedy King. Once upon a time, there was a young and strong king who lost everything that the world has to offer. The king was so greedy that he wanted everything that catch his eyes. At this moment, the king has wealth, power, and women in his possession. One day, the king met a beautiful woman in a village he visited. It was love at first sight, and the king wants this woman to be his wife. The king proposed the woman to be his wife, but she refused it. "If you want me to be your wife, you shall bring me a snow from the peak of the highest mountain." The king was surprised. How could he bring a snow from the peak of a mountain? However, the king was blinded by his greed to own the woman and agreed the offer. At first, the king reached the mountain and tried to bring the snow in a small wooden bowl. "I think this would be enough." Therefore, the king hurried back to the village to meet the woman and give her the bowl. "Here, I brought you the snow as you requested." "Where is the snow? There is only water here." The king was surprised and realized that the snow had melted during the trip because of its small portion. "I'll be back tomorrow with a bigger vessel," said the king. At the second time, the king brought a huge clay pot in the mountain peak and filled it with the snow. This time, he rode the fastest horse in the kingdom and bring it to the woman. This time, it won't melt again. "Here, I brought you the snow." The woman peeked at the top of the huge clay pot and said, "There is only water here." The king was surprised once again and peeked at the pot. "It's impossible. I brought so many of it. Why it keeps melting?" "Are you trying to trick me, woman? If you are truly a powerful king, then you should be able to fulfill my wish and become my husband." The king was once again blinded by his pride and greed. "I will fulfill that wish of yours." Deep in his thought, the king had an idea. "If I can't bring the snow to the woman, I shall bring the mountain to the woman." At the third time, the king gripped the mountain and lifted with all his might. The king then walked for a few steps and suddenly his arm couldn't hold the mountain anymore and it was torn apart. The king now held the mountain with his head, and not long after that, the foot was also torn apart by the weight of the mountain. The king desperately tried to hold the mountain with his body, but he was crushed beneath the mountain and never be seen again. The end.